Welcome back to the channel. Today, we aren't just talking about health, we are talking about survival. In the United States, heart disease isn't just a medical term, it's a national emergency. Every single year, nearly 700,000 Americans lose their lives to cardiovascular issues. But here is the most chilling statistic. A huge percentage of these people had no idea their heart was in trouble until the very last moment. Why? Because we have been trained to look for crushing chest pain. But the truth is, your heart starts aging decades before a heart attack happens. Your heart is the only organ that never takes a day off. From the moment you were a tiny embryo until this very second, it has been pumping. If you are 50 years old, your heart has beaten over 1.8 billion times. But here is the catch. Because of chronic inflammation, high sodium diets, and the sitting disease, a sedentary lifestyle, our hearts are often 10 to 20 years older than our actual age. In this 25-minute deep dive, I am going to show you how to read the hidden language of your heart. We are going to look at the signs that show up in your feet, your bathroom habits, and even your ears. By the end of this video, you will have a masterclass in heart longevity. Let's start with the first, most misunderstood sign. Let's talk about the staircase test. Most people in their 50s and 60s tell me, "Doc, I'm just getting older. That's why I get tired." And I'm here to tell you, aging is not a disease, but a stiff heart is. When your heart ages prematurely, the muscle fibers undergo a process called myocardial fibrosis. Imagine your heart muscle, which should be as flexible as a new rubber band, becoming as stiff as a piece of old leather. This usually happens in the left ventricle. When you try to do something simple, like walking up a flight of stairs or carrying 2 bags of groceries, your muscles scream for oxygen. A young heart expands quickly to suck in more blood and pump it out, but a stiff, aged heart can't expand. It hits a wall. This causes pressure to build up, which then pushes fluid back into your lungs. That gasping for air feeling, that's not just your lungs being out of shape. That is your heart telling you it can no longer keep up with the demands of your body. The Robert case study. Consider one of my patients, Robert, a 58-year-old accountant from Chicago. Robert thought his shortness of breath was due to his weight, but during our checkup, we found his heart age was closer to 75. His heart was so stiff it was operating at only 40% of its reserve capacity. If we hadn't caught it through this simple sign, Robert was a prime candidate for sudden heart failure within 2 years. Now, let's move to sign number 2. I call it the gravity test. Most of us ignore our feet until they hurt, but your ankles are actually a window into your heart's pumping efficiency. Have you ever noticed that by 6 p.m. your socks leave a deep red ring around your ankles? Or perhaps your shoes feel a bit tighter in the evening than they did in the morning? In clinical medicine, we call this peripheral edema. But let me explain the why behind it, because this is where the 25-minute journey gets interesting. Your heart is responsible for fighting a constant battle against gravity. It has to pull blood from your lower extremities all the way back up to your chest. When your heart muscle is aging, a condition often referred to as early-stage heart failure or congestive heart failure, it loses its suction power. Think of it like an old, weary water pump in a tall building. It can push water up, but it can't pull it back down effectively. As a result, the pressure in your veins increases and plasma, the liquid part of your blood, actually leaks out of the tiny capillaries and gets trapped in your skin tissue. The pitting test. Here is a 30-second test you can do right now. Press your thumb firmly into the bone of your ankle for 5 seconds. When you let go, does the skin bounce back immediately? Or does it leave a small pit or crater that stays there? If that pit remains for more than a few seconds, your heart is telling you that its circulation loop is broken. It is a silent cry for help that millions of Americans ignore, thinking it's just old age swelling or too much salt in their diet. While salt plays a role, a strong, youthful heart should be able to handle it. Sign number 3 is perhaps the most frustrating one: nocturia, or frequent nighttime urination. Most men blame their prostate, and most women blame a small bladder. But if you are waking up 3 times a night, the culprit might be your heart's inability to manage fluid volume. Here is the biological secret. During the day, because your heart is struggling against gravity, sign 2, it stores that excess fluid in your legs. You walk around with heavy, swollen ankles all day. But the moment you lie down flat to sleep, gravity is suddenly out of the equation. That trapped fluid in your legs rushes back into your central bloodstream. Your heart suddenly feels a massive surge in blood volume. To protect itself from being overwhelmed, your heart releases a hormone called ANP, atrial natriuretic peptide. This hormone sends a frantic signal to your kidneys saying, "Emergency! We have too much fluid! Get rid of it now!" Your kidneys go into overdrive, your bladder fills up, and you wake up at 3 a.m. This isn't just a sleep interruption. It is your body's emergency drainage system working because your heart couldn't handle the fluid during the day. If this is happening to you every single night, your heart is essentially working overtime while you are trying to rest. It is a cycle of exhaustion that leads to chronic fatigue and, eventually, more serious cardiac events. We have spent the last 10 minutes uncovering the truth about what your stairs are telling you, what your ankles are whispering to you, and what your 3 a.m. bathroom trips have been screaming at you. But now comes the most important question of this entire video. Can you actually reverse a stiff, aged, struggling heart? I want you to listen to me very carefully right now, because what I am about to tell you is the opposite of what most people believe. Most people think heart damage is permanent. Most people think once your heart starts failing, it is a one-way road. But modern cardiology has completely changed that thinking. There is a concept called cardiac remodeling, and it means exactly what it sounds like. Your heart can remodel itself. It can rebuild. It can become more elastic. It can recover its pumping efficiency, but only if you give it the right tools. So today, I am giving you a complete step-by-step protocol. Not 5 steps, not 10 steps, just 3 powerful science-backed actions that you can start within the next 24 hours. And I will also share one patient story that I believe will change the way you think about your heart forever. Let me start with Margaret. Margaret was 64 years old when she first came to my clinic. She was exhausted, not tired in the way that sleep fixes, but exhausted in the way that sleep no longer helped. She was waking up 3 times every night. Her ankles were so swollen by evening that she had stopped wearing her favorite shoes, and climbing the stairs to her bedroom had become something she dreaded every single day. Her previous doctor told her, "Margaret, you are getting older. This is normal." But I ran a full cardiac workup. Her heart ejection fraction was at 38%. Her arterial stiffness score was that of a 79-year-old woman. She was 64. Her heart was 15 years older than her body. And here is what broke my heart as her physician. None of this was inevitable. The inflammation had been building silently for over a decade. The fluid retention had been ignored for 3 years, and the nighttime urination had been blamed on her bladder. Is for 5 years, 5 years of missed signals. But Margaret did not give up, and neither did we. We started her on the exact 3-step protocol I am about to share with you. And in 9 months, her ejection fraction improved to 54%. Her ankle swelling was gone. She was sleeping through the night, and she sent me a photo, standing at the top of a hiking trail, not smiling. That photo is why I make these videos. So, let's talk about what we did. Step 1. The nitric oxide protocol. Your arteries are not pipes. They are living, breathing tissue, and they need a chemical called nitric oxide to stay flexible. Think of nitric oxide as the natural WD-40 of your cardiovascular system. When your arteries are rich in nitric oxide, they expand easily. Blood flows freely. Your heart does not have to work as hard to push blood through. But when nitric oxide levels drop, arteries stiffen, blood pressure rises, and your heart ages faster than it should. Now here is the good news. You can increase nitric oxide naturally through food. Number 1, beetroot juice. Even half a glass per day has been shown in clinical studies to measurably improve arterial flexibility within 2 to 3 weeks. Number 2, arugula and spinach. These leafy greens are among the highest natural sources of nitrates that your body converts directly into nitric oxide. Number 3, garlic, specifically raw garlic. It contains a compound called allicin, which directly stimulates nitric oxide production in your arterial walls. Start with these 3 foods, not as a diet, as a daily habit. Step 2, Zone 2 cardio, the heart's best friend. Now I know what you are thinking. Dr. Stone, I can barely climb the stairs. How am I supposed to exercise? And that is exactly why Zone 2 cardio is the answer. Zone 2 is not running. It is not the gym. It is not pain. Zone 2 is simply this: moving at a pace where you can still hold a conversation, but you can feel that your breathing is slightly heavier than normal. A brisk walk, a slow cycle, even a gentle swim. 30 minutes, 5 days a week. That is it. But here is what happens inside your heart during Zone 2 cardio that most people never understand. Your heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, it becomes more flexible when it is gently and consistently stretched. During Zone 2, your heart is forced to expand and contract repeatedly, but without the dangerous pressure of intense exercise. Over time, the stiff collagen fibers inside your heart muscle begin to remodel. The left ventricle becomes more elastic. Reserve capacity improves. Remember Robert, the 58-year-old accountant with a heart age of 75? We started Robert on Zone 2 walking, just 25 minutes a day. Nothing dramatic. In 6 months, his reserve capacity improved by 22%. His cardiologist called it remarkable. I called it biology doing its job when we finally gave it a chance. Step 3, the mineral protocol. Magnesium and potassium. Most Americans are chronically deficient in 2 minerals that are absolutely essential for heart function: magnesium and potassium. Let me explain why these matter so deeply. Your heart beats because of electrical signals. Every single beat is triggered by a precise flow of minerals in and out of your heart cells. Magnesium is the mineral that controls the electrical gate. Without enough magnesium, the gate becomes unstable. Heart rhythm becomes irregular. Muscle relaxation between beats becomes incomplete. Potassium works alongside magnesium to regulate fluid balance inside your cells. Remember the nighttime urination we discussed? Remember the swollen ankles? A significant part of that fluid imbalance is driven by potassium deficiency. When potassium levels are low, your body retains sodium. Sodium retains water. Water builds up in your tissues, and your heart struggles to manage the fluid volume. So what do you eat for magnesium? Pumpkin seeds, dark chocolate, almonds, black beans. A small handful of pumpkin seeds every day gives you nearly 40% of your daily magnesium requirement. For potassium, bananas, sweet potatoes, avocados, lentils. One medium sweet potato contains more potassium than a banana and is also rich in antioxidants that reduce cardiac inflammation. These are not supplements. These are not prescriptions. These are foods that have kept human hearts healthy for thousands of years that we have simply forgotten to eat. Now let me bring this all together. Margaret started beetroot juice every morning. She started a 25-minute walk every evening after dinner. She added pumpkin seeds and a sweet potato to her daily meals. No dramatic changes, no expensive treatments, no new prescriptions, just biology, given the right environment to heal. And in 9 months, she was standing at the top of that hiking trail. Your heart has beaten over 1.8 billion times for you. It has never asked for a day off. It has never complained. It has never stopped. And even when you forgot about it, is it not time to give it something back? Start with one step. Just one. Beetroot juice tomorrow morning. A 25-minute walk this evening. A handful of pumpkin seeds today. Small actions. Consistent habits. A younger heart. I am Dr. Alric Stone. If this masterclass gave you something valuable today, share it with someone whose heart you care about. Because awareness shared at the right moment can genuinely save a life. I will see you in the next masterclass. Stay strong, stay informed, and above all, take care of your heart. No.